Hey, welcome to Geek Speak. I'm Trace.
I'm Rob.
And for those of you that are new subscribers, Geek Speak is where we just talk about tiny subjects that don't really...
Recent stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, stuff that doesn't really warrant an entire half hour or 45 minutes.
Right.
So, what do you want to talk about, brother?
Had you seen the new Superman trailer?
Yes, I did.
And what was your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it?
I know you're not DC.
Henry Cavill looked sick in that. I mean, there was something wrong with it.
That's not Henry Cavill.
Oh, then that makes total sense. Now, I mean, what was your thoughts? I mean, my thoughts is Henry's a great actor. He's done great in a role before. I don't see why you're rebooting Superman again at this point.
We could do a whole episode on
this is
why they're not doing that.
This is Geek Speak. Go ahead.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good trailer. I think my favorite part of the trailer, I'm sure it ain't no spoilers, was that it had crypto in it. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm a big crypto fan.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, I find out something new about you
DC
every
Comics.
day.
DC Comics. I'm a big DC Comics fan.
And you even like the dog with a cape on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not as cool as Ace.
Yeah.
The Bat Hound.
Yeah. But James Gunn's doing it, so there's a real good chance it'd be good, but it would be better with Henry Cavill. Just saying.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I won't argue.
Okay. So Cobra Kai season 6 is out. And I'm a big Karate Kid fan.
Okay.
Big Cobra Kai fan. In fact, we had a 2 Geeks video covering the Karate Kid movies and Cobra Kai. And so season 6 is the last season. And instead of just doing 10 episodes, they're doing 15. And the writing has just been horrible. It's been horrible. I don't know. The same guy's writing it. John Horowitz, I think his name is. But the thing is, between season 5 and 6, the writer's strike happened. Mm-hmm. And he came back, and he had plenty of time to flesh out the story. Netflix wanted to do another 2 seasons, which would have been 20 episodes. They wanted to finish it up and do 10 more, so they come to a happy medium and did 15. So I don't know if he just took his storyline that he had for 10 episodes and stretched it out. But the writing, I mean, I was a huge fan of the show, and they kind of wrapped up every storyline at the end of the 5th season. And so why they're having another season, I don't know, but it's sad to see it go out on such a low note. I mean, me and Teresa's been watching it in 15-minute intervals, because that's as much stupid as I can stand in one stretch of time.
But does anything that you really care about seem to go out well, though?
Yeah, I mean, you think about like Star Trek: The Next Generation, that last episode, All Good Things. I mean, that was perfect. That was perfect. And so, yes, I mean, there's been tons of series that had great endings. But Cobra Kai, they still got 5 more episodes. They're going to release in February. Okay. So, maybe the very ending of the ending will be well. But so far, it's been torture. What else you want to talk about?
All right, well, it's the end of 2024. Mm-hmm. What do you think was the best movie of the year?
Oh, my gosh. You're just going to throw that right on me?
Yeah. I want your just...
To me, Christopher Reeve's Superman story.
I knew you was going to say that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I knew you was going to say that.
Why'd you ask me? You should just told him what my favorite movie was.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't argue the point.
Yeah.
My favorite one of 2024 was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, that was very good.
What blew my mind, though, because I knew I was going to ask you this. I went ahead and looked up what some of the best movies were. It blew my mind that Inside Out 2 was 7. It came in number 1 at $1.7 billion gross.
So
that is crazy, even higher than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, just because you make the most money, does that mean that's the best movie?
Yeah.
I mean, from a studio standpoint,
no,
but from a fan standpoint.
That means most tickets were sold.
I mean, The Last Jedi made tons of money at the theater, but it sucked as a movie.
Well, that's true but a lot of the movies that made it within the top 5, like Beetlejuice. Let's see, I wrote some of them down here. Beetlejuice, Despicable Me. Seems to be all cartoon or really grown nostalgic kind of movies.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, there was no dramas in that top 5 or anything like that. So it's like everything's either nostalgic or kid related.
Yeah, well,
I just found that fascinating.
I look forward to you watching that Christopher Reeve movie just so I can hear what you think about it. But so have you ever seen Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow?
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I have.
I just recently watched it only because one of our subscribers, William Webb, had suggested it. He suggested Mortal Engines, and I watched it a year ago and pleasantly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so he suggested Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, and I can understand why he thinks I would like it because it's like a 1940s. It came out about the same year that Sin City did, and it's got that certain aesthetic to it. It's not black and white, but they just use monotones a lot. And it's kind of a throwback to Captain Cody, the Sky Marshal of the Universe, those old 1950s sci-fis that came out. And but yes, I did watch it, William, and yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I give it on a scale of 1 to 10. I probably give it a 5. I give it a 5. But I watched it for you, man. I watched it for you.
There you go.
But yeah, it's not my cup of tea. But it's got a 1940s aesthetic. It's some pilot against giant robots attacking a city, and you like giant robots, maybe you'd enjoy it. But anyway, what else you want to talk about?
So, do you think movies that are created outside of the theater, like I recently watched Red One with The Rock. I'm not a Rock fan, but I'm a Christmas fan, so I had to watch it. And then there was C.K. Simmons as Santa.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how they were going to fix him up. I mean,
of course, you're crazy about Santa Claus.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm crazy about Santa. And the fact that, I was going to get to see a different Santa suit was kind of reminded me of longer. But, I mean, the man's fucking jacked. Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was okay. It was okay. But what do you think about, do you think movies that are made on these streaming services, do you think they should rank with those that are, like, made for theatrical?
Well, right. After COVID, the theaters got hit hard. And, and everybody's brother decided to start their own streaming service because Netflix is so successful. And you can't have a streaming service without having content.
True.
So there's a lot of movies that are going right straight to streaming services. Right. And the ones that are theater are only there for a moment before they go to a streaming service. So, yes, some of the things created just for Netflix or just for Amazon and or just for Hulu, some of the movies.
Right.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them. Yeah,
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy them, but should they be in the same ranking of something that should be willing to win an Oscar or win something that
I don't put too much.
Because they're paying big money for The Rock to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Captain America.
It did seem like something I'd want to watch, and nobody watches the Oscars anymore, cares about them anymore. In my, or at least I don't in my circles. But the thing is that I think it should rank. I think that when they have movie awards, that the movies made for these streaming services should, and they are, held right up there at even with the ones that are made just by the big movie theaters. I mean, half these streaming services are owned by movie theaters anyway, or not movie theaters, but production companies. So Mego, which I'm a big fan of the Mego toys.
Okay.
And that anybody that watches the channel knows that. So they've been making all these DC characters again, going back and making those DC characters that made when we were kids. And so the Batman and the Superman. Well, recently they acquired the license to Marvel. So they're going to go back and make the Marvel ones. And so, but they're making them Disney Store exclusives. And you can only get them in a 4-pack. So you just can't buy the one if there's one in the 4 that you want, you've got to buy 3 other ones to obtain it. And so a lot of fans aren't happy with that. I mean, I think it's Spider-Man and the Lizard and Electro and Green Goblin. And a lot of fans aren't happy with that because it runs nearly $100 to get those 4 figures when there may be just one that you wanted. Like I may have picked up the Spider-Man, but I'm not going to pick up all 4 of them just so I can have a Spider-Man.
Well, maybe you can get them in a secondary market like eBay or
possibly. But anything. What else you got, Brad?
Let's see. So I wanted to look at what was the highest selling toy for Christmas of 2024, or the year of 2024.
Yeah.
And it was Lego's Millennium Falcon, Star Wars Millennium Falcon. That thing is sold for $850, which
So you look
again-
for the most popular one or the most expensive one?
no, the most sold toy.
Oh, the most sold toy.
All toys, not just Legos.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon was the highest sold toy.
Yeah.
Not highest in price, but the largest amount. And blew my mind because I'm sitting here thinking $850. They're not making Legos for kids anymore. They're not selling a Lego set for $10. They're selling them for 50 and up. I mean, I understand that your purchasers are
A lot of your toys
Older.
now are sold to adult collectors.
I
I have a friend of mine.
Movies and everything.
Legos. I mean, I got a friend of mine named Brent, and he has a whole room full of Legos, and most of them are Star Wars Legos. And to me, that's no fun. I mean, I get the box, and I have to put the toy together, and then when I put it together, it's so fragile
Right.
that I have to, have kid gloves with it. I mean, you can't see it, but there's a Millennium Falcon, an old school Millennium Falcon, hanging from the ceiling over here.
Right.
And well, that thing's been whacked around and fell down. But I mean, can you imagine spending $800 on a Lego Millennium Falcon and then dropping the thing
Right.
and having it bust and having to put it all
it's
together?
funny.
again?
The second highest was Harry Potter, and Benji, you talked about dropping it. My daughter recently moved, and she was collecting like all the Harry Potter Lego stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're trying to move, and things fall apart and things break, and I don't think some of them fared well or got back into their original condition.
It happens. Anytime you move, something's going to break.
Right.
Something's going to break. So, my comic book recommendation for today. You didn't have anything else?
Nope. That was
Okay.
it.
Comic book recommendation is we talked about during our last video that was about Star Trek the Animated Series. At the end of it, we talked a little bit about Otoy and how they doing some amazing things with Star Trek.
Right.
They've released some videos 765-874, and they have one called 76874. Memory wall, regeneration, unification. Well, all that comes from this comic.
Okay.
First of all, I want to recommend Star Trek Early Voyages. It follows Captain Pike
Okay.
and that crew, and so Yeoman. I'm drawing a blank here. Yeoman, what was her name? I
Don't
forget.
ask me. I'm not a Star Trek fan.
Yeoman Colt. Colt. So in this issue, first of all, the comic's good. It's written by, drawn by Patrick Zurcher, who does Solomon Kane and Savage Sword of Conan.
Okay.
This is some of his first work. Story's great. Art's fantastic. And I think it lasted like 12 or 13 issues, but it was a joint venture between Marvel and Paramount. And so those Star Trek comics are really good. But in this issue, she goes forward in time, and I won't ruin it for anybody, but a lot of things she experiences, you see in those Otoy videos, and her badge number, her Star Trek, I guess it's not her badge number, but her Starfleet identification number is 765-874. So that's why they named all those videos after her, because if you look in the
Repeat that number
videos,
again.
765-874.
Oh, I thought you were saying 8675.
No, that's Jenny's number. You 80s kid. But anyway, so it's a real good read. Pick those up if you're a Star Trek fan. But yeah, all those Otoy videos really start with this issue here. And so anyway, done?
I'm done.
I think I'm done. Stay geeky. Oh, no, I'm not done. This artwork that you're seeing right about now
Okay.
is drawn by Madeline, and she's 11 years old. So she actually took the time to draw pictures
For us.
of Rob and Trace, and we really appreciate that.
Right.
And that's some fantastic art for being 11 years old.
Awesome.
And keep drawing, Madeline, and we look forward to more of your artwork. And if there's anybody else out there that wants to draw pictures of us, even if they're not flattering, we'll post them because we
If you
have,
can make it
we have no
flattering.
ego and we don't
for
care. So, you done?
I'm done.
All right, stay geeky, my friends.